1, 2, 3, 4. Good morning, everyone. My name is Audrey. I'm stitchywitch42 here on FlossTube and over on Instagram. Today is Tuesday, the 31st day of October 2023. Happy Halloween. This is my channel about cross-stitch life, the universe, and everything. And I took a mental health day off from work today because I know that I've shared in the past that they're doing road construction out in front of my house. Today was the day that they pulled the rows out. So I knew they were going to do it yesterday. I was a puddle of tears over this rose that I've had for 27 years. But Mark was here. The guys were out there. They worked together. They got the rose pulled up. Mark got it transplanted into a pot for me. So now I'm calm enough. I can do a video about cross stitch. Oh my gosh. I've been busy the last couple of weeks. I mentioned in my last video that I feel good, and I do. I feel good. The day after my video, I decided I had some errands that I need to take care of, and I left the house. I went to my store to say hello to the people that I wanted to see. Then I drove into Salem because I needed to buy a new pair of pants. They didn't have my size at the place I always shop at, so I went and sat in the parking lot of said shop, and I went onto Amazon and I ordered my pants. I wear a woman's size petite length jean. If I buy regular jeans, they're about 4 inches too long for me. If I buy the petite jeans, they're the right length. But apparently I wasn't paying attention when I hit the size button, because when they showed up the next day, I ordered a size 8. This is not a size 8. It's not. In fact, the smallest size I can ever remember being was an 11. That's not cross stitch. Anyway, I came home from that shopping trip and I did some work around the house, and then I decided to go upstairs and try to tackle the Hobbit Library and the crafting burrow, because I've been wanting to do some cleaning and organizing up there. So start with something simple. I have a little snap tray that sits on the drawers in the crafting burrow, and that's what all my floss goes into. Morning, everyone. My name is Audrey. I'm stitchywitch42 here on FlossTube and over on Instagram. This is my channel about cross-stitch life, the universe, and everything. Real fast life update. I'm supposed to be working today. It's Tuesday. It's Halloween, the 31st of October. I'm supposed to be working today, but I took a mental health day. We've been having road work done outside the house, and yesterday the crew showed up and started working right out front, which meant that either yesterday or today they were going to tear out my rows. And I don't know for what reason, but it was like a dam burst yesterday, and I spent the whole day just being a teary-eyed mess because I'm stressing over this rose that I've had for 27 years. I've already accepted that I'm going to lose a lot of stuff out of that front flower bed because of the road work, but that rose was my fixation. So this morning they came out. I went out and I talked with them. They told us yes, they would be taking it out. Mark was here. So we both went out when they pulled it up. Mark got it transplanted into a pot for me, trimmed back all the excess on it, and it is now tucked into a corner underneath my snowball outside. and I'm hoping that it will survive the winter so that next year when we get to redo our front yard, I can put my rose back into my garden. But today I took a mental health day. And the fact that it happens to be Halloween, well, yeah. Want to talk some cross stitch? Because I've got a lot to share today. My last video I recorded on a Wednesday. The next day was Thursday, and I figured I was feeling good. I'm going to go out and I'm going to run some errands. First time I'd been driving out by myself after surgery. So I went down to my store at a time when I knew all the people that I wanted to see would be there, and I chatted with all of them. Then I drove into Salem because I wanted to get a new pair of jeans. Drove to Kohl's, went in. They carry my style. They didn't have any that were my size. I wear a petite jean, not size petite, length petite. And they had everything but. Regular length jean is about 4 inches too long, and I hate hemming pants. So I went out and I sat in their parking lot, and I went onto Amazon and I found the jeans that I like, and I ordered a pair. Drove back to town, did some grocery shopping, came home, got a crock pot meal going, cleaned up my house some, and then I decided I was going to go upstairs and start tackling cleaning and organizing the Hobbit Library and the crafting bureau. So I started with the snap tray that sits on top of the drawers, because that's where I put all my floss after I'm finished with projects, and it had a nice heaping mound of floss there. So take it out to my desk, sort it all, put it away. What's the next simple thing that I can do? I have a stack of project bags that are laying on the bed in the crafting bureau. I can go through and sort those out and get them put away. So I now have a stack of patterns that I still haven't put away. I put all the project bags away. I ended up with another stack of floss that needed to be sorted and put away. And I had a bunch of finishes that I put in my 12 by 12 inch tub of things that I knew I would be finishing at some point, because I haven't done a lot of finishing this year. But that changed, because after I got the floss taken care of, after I got the bags taken care of, I realized there were 3 patterns in there that were going to be really, really simple finishes. So I went and I grabbed my tabletop ironing board from the laundry room, and I grabbed my iron and I took it all upstairs, and I started working on my Lola Crow Weird Things in Mason Jars. And these are really simple finishes. If you go to her website, it shows that these patterns are finished in a mason ring. And I thought I was going to do that, but I think on her site it shows them as ornaments. I decided to leave them on the jars because I need storage area upstairs. So this is the first one. This is the Weird Things in Mason Jars. This is the frogs. And as you see, it's just on a jar. This is such a simple finish. Basically, I took the ring and I put it on a piece of mat board, and I stuck my pencil in there and I drew a circle. Then I cut that circle out. I cut out 3 pieces of batting the same size as that circle. 2 of those pieces of batting I cut about 1/8 of an inch smaller, and then I glued the 2 smaller pieces of batting with the larger one on top of it, and I glued that on top of the mat board. Took the pattern, the finish, the design on the pattern, cut it out in a circle, did a running stitch around it because I'm just going to cinch it around that mat board. And then I put a piece of sticky back felt on the back of it just to cover all that up. And it just sits inside the lid of this. So if I wanted to, I could turn this into an ornament. Really, really easy. But yeah, getting it onto the mason jar. Actually, it's a ball jar. That's weird things in mason jars. That's the frog. The eyeballs. And the tentacles, which is a great jar for my buttons. So that's what I did that Thursday. Friday I got up and I thought to myself, well, there's some other pieces in that box that I wanted to get working on. And one of them, when I first finished it, I actually went to Hobby Lobby to find a frame for it. Now, when I take a piece that I know I'm going to put in a frame, I always take that piece with me to wherever I go. And here in Salem, I'm really lucky because I have Michael's, I have Joann's, I have Hobby Lobby, and I have Craft Warehouse to choose from. And they're all just about the same distance from me. So it doesn't matter where I go to. But Joann's and Hobby Lobby are at either ends of the mall. I couldn't find a frame where it would fit inside the opening that the frame has. But what I did find was a frame that the relief on the front of it would be deep enough that I could fit this in there on a piece of mat board and it would work. So my second, I consider the 3 mason jars my first finish. My second finish was Witchy by the Scarlett House. And this is what she looks like. I laced the back of this. There's just a piece of batting underneath here. I laced the back of it, and I am really, really tickled with how the edges came out because I think this is probably one of my straightest finishes I've ever made. But I really, really like the way she turned out. And since I'm done with her, I thought I'd pass along the pattern. If you're interested, say Sewitch. SEWWITCH. You know all the rules. Please be a subscriber. I will look for that and I will mail it anywhere. I got that one done. I'm on a roll. I'm going to do another one. This is one that has been finished for a couple of years now. It was designed by another floss tuber, Niecie Lynn. And if you watch her videos, and if you're not, why aren't you? I love her. I could listen to her talk all day long. I used to want to meet her in person, but here recently she made the comment, now that she's back helping out at the schools, that she wears patchouli. I have sinus issues. I did the whole roto-rooter surgery at one point, and strong smells give me almost an instant headache. So, Niecie Lynn, I love you, but I don't want to meet you anymore because you wear patchouli, and I don't want the headache that would go along with that. But she designed this piece that she called Broom Hair, Don't Care. For me, it should say Jeep hair, because the first time Mark took me out in the Jeep, this is what my hair looked like. And after 30 minutes of driving around without anything holding my hair down, my face was so red and raw because my hair had slapped me in the face. But this is my version of Niecie Lynn's Broom Hair, Don't Care I obviously left the don't care off underneath it. I just made it a flat mount. And then I fussy cut a piece of fabric on the back. So I like the way this turned out. So the fabric that I stitched her on had been gifted to me 4, 5, 6 years ago. It's a gorgeous piece of fabric. When I got it, I had no clue what I was going to do with it. But it is a gorgeous piece of fabric. I think it's a 28 count. I don't know. But I thought it would be perfect for that because to me, it looks kind of like stormy weather. But now that I'm done with her and I have her finally finished, I thought I would pass on this scrap of fabric. The top part of it is about 17 by 17 square plus. That's enough that you could do a small piece on. So if you happen to be interested in that, say linen, Linen. Again, I will mail this anywhere. Just be a subscriber and comment, you know, all the things. Okay, where to put things? Then there was one piece that I had recently finished. You may remember it's the one that might cause Mark and I to be divorced because he didn't know who CaraMia was. Again, I wanted this to be a flat mount because when I was decorating my mantelpiece and the sideboard and straightening up the crafting burrow the other day, I realized I've got a lot of Halloween stitches. And I'm going to include some photos of those at the end of the video. But I don't have wall space to hang things, and I've got a ton of pillows, and I'm trying to get away from pillow finishes. So does that mean more flat mounts, more, I don't know. We'll see what I decide. But this is my finish of CaraMia. Again, it's just a flat mount. I pinned and laced this one, and it's not exactly straight, but it's straight enough for me. I put a backer board behind it, just found some tonal, monochromatic tonal black fabric, and then I just put a piece of black craft paper on the back of it to cover it all. So I could put this, I could lean it against the wall, I could lean it in front of something, I could put it on a picture stand. This is CaraMia. And still, I had the desire to do more. And I had another small pattern in there that I wanted to finish. And did I just say I wanted to get away from pillow finishes? Yeah. I lie to myself all the time. All the time. This was a free pattern. I don't know who I got it from. If you have questions, leave a comment down below because I can go find my book. This is either from last year or earlier this year, but it's tomato. And I just made it into a very simple pillow finish. And then I had these resin buttons that I had bought a while back, and I just stuck a pin through there so that I could have a tomato pin on my tomato pin cushion. So that was 4 finishes done that day. With the 3 mason jars the night before, 7 finishes. Oh my gosh, what the heck is going on with me? When I had been going through that box and I was emptying the bags into the box, I found a project that I had forgotten about. It was one that I had started last year. I had bought this pamphlet 13 Spooky Smalls from Primrose Cottage Design Stitches. And I had stitched this one, Hocus Pocus. And then I had started stitching this one, the Halloween quilt. And I put it away. And I didn't remember doing that at all. But these are small. I mean, that Halloween quilt is 45 stitches by 45 stitches. It's a small piece, and I was about halfway done with it. So Saturday, I sat down and finished stitching Halloween quilt. And then there was another one in there that I wanted to stitch, so I started and finished it. And then I let them sit. Because Sunday, Mark and Philip and I went up to Portland to go to the Oddities and Curiosities show. This had shown up on my Facebook feed about a month or so ago. And I asked Mark if he wanted to go with me because, you know, I wanted to check it out. So, Sunday, Mark, Philip, and I, we went up to Portland. We went to the Oddities and Curiosities show. Never been to anything like that before. It was up at the convention center in Portland in the two largest exhibit halls that they have. And there were so many tables that had prepped animal skulls. And there were booths that had mounted butterflies and mounted insects. There were booths with jars of pickled animals and snakes and things. There were skins. There was booths where you could get... I thought it was a cool idea. I'm kind of sad that I didn't do it now. But there was a lady who, if you gave her a picture of your house, she would turn it into a painting of a haunted house. I should have. There was a woman there that was cross-stitching, and she was stitching one word many times, and then she was framing them. So while she wasn't giving them away, she was selling all of her rhymes with ducks. I thought it was so hilarious to see that. And I told her, I said, "Do you know who Judith Dench is?" And she said yes. I said, "She likes to cross-stitch." And I remember reading a story years ago that when she was on set recording whatever it was that she was filming, she would cross-stitch naughty words. And then she would give them to the people from whatever that movie was that she was filming. And I just thought it was hilarious to see this lady sitting in this Oddities and Curiosities shop, cross-stitching one particular word over and over again, putting them into little frames and selling them. And I should have got one, and I didn't. So I may have to make my own. But we spent, maybe an hour and a half walking around looking at all the oddities and curiosities. And the only thing that I purchased there were some stickers. I had seen an idea on the ladies that I like to watch that have junk journaling videos. Louisa Heinzel, Junk Journal Art, Barbara, 49 Dragonflies, Julia Michaels, 17 Turtles, I think it is. Anyway, these three ladies had all made a card to put in their journals. And Barbara explained how to make a hexie on paper. I've never done that before. But I was intrigued and I wanted to make one to go in my journal. And when I was walking around and I was looking at these stickers, I saw one and I knew it was the perfect one for me. So I purchased it, and when I sat down and made this, I realized I could also use something out of those flowers that my friend Stacy had sent to me when she sent me that little globe with the flying witch in it. So this is my first ever hexie that I've made. And the sticker that I bought, oops, is the eyeball here. These are the eyes from the flowers that Stacy sent me. And I just think that this turned out so fantastic. I was surprised to find out that I had a hexie-shaped stencil. It's actually supposed to be a beehive. So I'm counting this as one of my finishes for this weekend. Alrighty. So that was the last Sunday that I was off before I went back to work. I should have gone back to work on Tuesday, but I didn't because Mark had to have oral surgery. He had a couple of teeth removed, and I had to go sit with him in Salem because he obviously wouldn't be able to drive afterwards, and he has been home since. He's doing good. It's still tender, but he's doing good. So I went back to work last Wednesday. And then on Thursday, my next day off, because I only work, my normal schedule is Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. That Thursday, last Thursday, I went back upstairs, and those 3 patterns that I told you I had stitched out of the 13 Spooky Smalls, they are now finished as ornaments. So this is Hocus Pocus. This is some of the fabric that Chris Yo sent to me a while back, and I thought this was a perfect background for it. So I just finished it with some Lady Dot, and it is now an ornament. Then I did the Halloween quilt, and again I made it into a small ornament. This one, when I put it together, I wasn't paying attention, so I did it so my house was upside down, which meant I just pulled off the twine that I put around it, and it's twine that somebody sent to me in Happy Mail, but I thought the colors were perfect to go along with this. So this one is finished. And then the one that I hadn't started, but I did start that Saturday, is called Halloween Basket, and that's this one. And again, just finished with some Lady Dot chenille, and there's the back of it. 10 cross-stitch finishes until the other day. The other day I was thinking about this one because I'd seen it in the box, and there's really not many more pieces in there. But I saw this one, and my original idea for it had been to do another cube finish. But I didn't want to because, again, it's going in the back of my mind. I don't have a lot of space to store things or to display things. I'm running out of space in my house because I have so much Halloween stitches. But I'm still going to stitch more. This is Beltane. It's a Primitive Hare one. And all I did was I put some interfacing behind the pattern, and I stitched a back onto it. And I left an opening down here so that if I wanted to, I could turn this one into a pin pillow. But I have these hangers. They're Tim Holtz hangers. And I thought it was perfect because this one I can hang off of a knob or something small, and it won't take up a lot of space when I store it. So, 1 journaling finish and 11 fully finished pieces. mind blown. Okay. Have I done any stitching? Why, yes. Yes, I have. Because I feel good. Where's my cover? This is Halloween Balcony. This was sent to me from Kelly from New Zealand. And when I saw this piece, I fell in love with it. It's the one that my son had to help me interpret because the pattern is written in Chinese. And I have been stitching on it. And as I do, I've got a thread hanging on the front of it, and I'm going to leave it there this time. But this is where I'm at. I'm at the bottom of the piece. I know that the last time I showed it, the pumpkins weren't done, or these down here. The door is finished, and now I'm working across the grass on the bottom, and over here there will be a cauldron, and then I have to do all the back stitching from about here down. But I love this piece so much. But you know something? After I got all those fully finished projects done, I decided I wanted to start a new pattern. I had bought the fabric for this, and I know the name of the pattern is called No One Is Home. I think of it as Mr. Pine's Purple House because I told you about the book I read when I was a little girl, and I bought the book. But where is it? Oh wait, there it is. Hold on a moment. This is the book I read when I was a child, Mr. Pine's Purple House. I thought this was such a cute story, and I was really surprised when I shared it with you how close I was to the story. Yes, I left some details out, but I told enough of it that if anybody else had read it, they knew which story I was talking about. This is what the pattern looks like, or will look like. I had gone to the Etsy shop and I ordered the ectoplasm Ada. It's Oblong Meow on Etsy. And this is 2 days of stitching. I'm stitching a house, people. If you've been around for a while, you know I'm not fond of the houses. But I figured I could do this one, and it's already been personalized. But I think it's personalized in such a way that I can fudge it. So I'm not even going to tell you where. But that is where I'm at. I'm getting all the black outlining done on this piece. I've made a couple of mistakes on it. One I'm leaving. The other one I fixed because it was a simple fix. I love this fabric. This is not something that I would normally buy to use myself. And that's actually a pretty good interpretation of it. It is gorgeous. So gorgeous. And what I'm thinking of doing with this one is I want to make, remember, okay, I'm dating myself here. What the hell, I'm 64 years old. When we were in school, we used to take paper bags and make covers for our school books. So that way we could scribble all over the paper bags without ruining the school books. What I'm thinking of doing is making a cover to go over this with this on top of it. And that way I have both the story and the finish together, and I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to make a simple slipcover to go over Mr. Pine's purple house with no one is home. So, I had to make a list today to make sure that I got everything in there. I have made one purchase and I want to share it with you. My friend Lisa, who is Prim's on Greenway, here recently she and Michelle from Under the Woolen Willow got together and they had a retreat in Upper New York. And part of the swag the people who went to the retreat got was an Amish basket. I contacted her because I have a thing about nice handmade baskets. I have several of them around my house. I asked her if she could give me a link or direct me to where she'd purchased these baskets. And she said she had an extra one, so she sold it to me. This is what I got. This is gorgeous. Very basic. She gave the dimensions on her Instagram, and it's signed by the maker on the bottom of it. But the reason I got this basket was everybody's been showing their jewelry boxes that they've been making into sewing boxes. We're going to be retiring next year, and we're going to spend a lot of time exploring Oregon and wherever in Mark's Jeep. And what I wanted to do is put together a basket that could house all of my accoutrement that I would need for going on a trip in the Jeep. So what I want to do with this is I want to find, and if anybody can help me with this, I would greatly appreciate it. I want to find a pattern that will fit the inside of this and basically make an insert that will have pockets on it to put my scissors and whatever else it is that I end up putting in there, so that this is my, we're going on a trip in the Jeep, grab my basket and I'm ready to go. If you follow Lisa, Prim's on Greenway, on Instagram, she posted just the other day that she still has a couple more of these for sale. I don't know how many. I thought the price was very reasonable. If you're interested in one, go look at her Instagram and see if she has any left. I think that's it. I got Mark to leave the house long enough today so that I could put a video together. This is it. I hope I said everything I was supposed to say. Happy Halloween, everyone. We're hoping that we're going to get some kids today. Mark told me the other day that he talked to the young men that live next door to us, and by young I mean under 15, to have them tell their friends that we're giving away full-size candy bars tonight. I've got the front of the house decorated. I've got lights around. They'll have the big holes covered before they finish work tonight out in the street, so hopefully maybe we get some children this Halloween. I love seeing all the little peoples in their costumes, running door to door, so excited about this holiday, and it's still my favorite. Until we meet again, my friends, live long and stitch on. Bye-bye.